Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk about why I've now switched over to Fuji for all of my street photography. Maybe you're thinking about buying a Fuji, or you're thinking about switching over to an X100V, or you're thinking about street photography in general and what cameras you think you should use. Hopefully this video might give you some food for thought, and I'm going to share my thoughts, experience, opinions on everything Fuji and street photography in this video. First things first, regular viewers of this channel will know that I use the Canon R6 to film and shoot everything. Now, I didn't want to clickbait this video too much, but I am switching over to the Fuji just for street and travel, and I'll explain as the video goes on why I'm primarily using the Fuji and not my Canon R6. Before those comments end up down below saying, Mike, why have you ditched Canon? No, I haven't. I still love my R6 and I still love everything Canon related, but as far as street photography goes, introducing the Fuji X100V. High quality, top of the range cameras like the R6, you know, full frame, mirrorless, DSLR, whatever it is, if the camera's really, really good and the lenses are really, really good, the process of street photography is more about the tech and how good the camera is and how good the lens is, rather than the process of street photography itself. From my experience so far, using the Fuji X100V with its 23mm fixed lens, which is actually 35mm on a crop, this focal length, this camera, this system makes me think about the process of street photography, my environment, the people, the lights, the compositions. It makes me think about street photography and putting together an image that I enjoy, rather than a fancy 200mm focal length or a fancy 85mm 1.4 bokeh-licious image. Using a camera like this makes me think more about street photography itself, rather than, you know, how good the lens is, for example. I think the initial point I'm trying to make here is, I've heard this said about Instagram before, but is that a pretty picture or is that just a pretty person? Obviously, if it's a pretty person in a photo, it makes the photo look good. The same kind of thing is what I'm suggesting with street photography. Do you just have a really good camera and a really good lens, and then you take a photo of a street and you think it looks amazing purely because the camera makes it look amazing? Or is it actually a good image itself? So using a camera like this has made me focus more on the image and the people and the composition and the light, and this has made me think about the photo itself rather than how good the camera is at taking the photo. So yeah, is that a pretty picture or is it a pretty person? Is that a good street photography image or is that just a good lens? There's a place for this high-tech stuff though. There's a place for the Canon R6 and the Sony a7 IVs. Of course there is, but I don't want to carry around a camera bag with me all the time. That's not necessarily fun when I'm traveling and just want to do a nice little simple bit of street photography. Is the Canon R6 and all these amazing lenses taking the enjoyment out of the process? Whereas when I first picked up the X100V for a POV video I did a couple of months back, I immediately felt like I was creating an image with this. It felt way more tactile. It felt way more like I was using an old film camera. It just brought me back into the process of, how do I use this camera in front of me to create a nice image with what's around me, rather than, you know, using a DSLR and thinking, okay, I'm just gonna put a fat 200mm lens on this and look at the amazing compression. I wanted the process of street photography to be more enjoyable, and that's exactly what a camera like this has done for me. This might sound like I'm rambling now, but this camera makes me enjoy the process of street photography rather than the result of it. Practically speaking, ease of use, this just makes sense. Having to carry around like a giant camera bag all the time when I'm using the R6, that's not fun. That kind of puts me off sometimes when I'm off out for a full day in the city and I'm like, I have to carry around a camera bag and lenses and blah, 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 blah. This can go in, well, this is what I've got it in at the minute, this tiny little carry case. And I've actually ordered a strap for this anyway, so I can just literally put this on a strap around my neck. I can go out for the day, fantastic. For me personally, having a hybrid with regards to my photography and my work has always been important, because video has actually been the priority most of the time. I've been making videos for as long as I've been taking photos, but more of my professional work is video based. So I've always needed a good DSLR like the Canon R6 that produces good video. And then if it takes good photos as well, that's a bonus. Whereas now, this fulfills my need for a camera that's lightweight, that's easy, and that I can just carry around with me for street photography. This is what I intend on using it for. I'm not looking for amazing video. I'm not looking to use this as my primary photography lens for commercial client work. That's not what this is for. This is ease of use, convenience, and able to take great quality images at the same time. Well, perfect. And that's why I found the Fuji being like the perfect partner in crime with regards to street photography. I just don't need the Canon R6 with me all the time. Something I like to remember and I want to add here, and I think it's quite important to note, is that our opinion and perception of camera gear and technology is always skewed by our life situation and all our personal circumstances. For example, everyone watching this video is going to have a vast difference in budgets. What do you need a camera to do for you? What do you primarily shoot? Do you need video? Do you need photo? Are you shooting portraits? Are you shooting travel stuff? Like, everyone's got so many different needs, and cameras are made nowadays to fulfill all of these different requirements, and it's great to see. But my opinion on street photography and what camera I choose is going to be so different to someone else's opinion of street photography and the camera they choose. Which means that when someone's recommending something, remember that their situation in life is different to your situation. So here's me chatting about the X100V and me thinking it's the best street photography camera. It is for me, but maybe not for you. So always just take anyone's opinion and my opinion with a pinch of salt, because it's going to be biased in some form or another. So I just wanted to put that out there. As far as the Fuji system goes, I've still got lots to learn. I need to figure out what film simulation I like using. I want to give JPEGs only a go. I want to go out for a full day and just shoot JPEGs and figure out what recipe, I think is the right word to use, what recipe I'm going to use in the camera. But all that's exciting. That makes me want to go and create content. It makes me want to go and shoot street photography and make some images, because the whole process is going to be a little bit different to using the Canon R6, which I'm used to. I've only shot 3 or 4 times with it so far, so I'm talking so passionately about this camera and I'm not actually that experienced with it. This camera is going to bring me back to the process of street photography, like I've said multiple times in this video. And that's what I want. I want to enjoy the process of taking photos rather than enjoying just the result that a good camera might get for me. Which brings me on to saying, what film simulations would you recommend? Fuji viewers, if you're seeing this video, please leave a comment down below. Teach me. I'm an open book. I'm ready to learn. So far, I enjoyed using Astia, I think it's called, because that adds like a nice soft glow to the images and the colors look nice. A lot of people have been saying Classic Chrome, I think it's called. I'm going out shooting tomorrow, so I might just stick it on JPEG only and use Classic Chrome, so that should be fun. I have also ordered a couple of bits and bobs, including a red shutter button, because I was told to by everyone on Instagram that said, look, you've got a Fuji now, it's the right thing to do, you need to get a red shutter button, so that's on its way, including a lens hood as well. I like the square lens hoods, so I've bought one of those because if it rains, that's going to protect that, obviously. And a leather strap. If you've got a little Fuji camera, if you want to look cool and hip, you need a leather strap, so that's what I've done as well. So you should see the progression of this camera looking more and more hipster as videos go on. I want to thank the sponsors of this video, which is Me, Myself and I. I want to let you know about the Ultimate Street Photography Guide. It's an online street photography course that consists of 30 different video lessons sharing everything I know about street photography, from composition tips, picking subjects, camera settings, focus settings, editing tips, everything I know about street photography in a 30-day or 30 video lesson guide. So you can log on to the platform, watch any video you want in any order, and then learn from me in regards to street photography. So if you're into that, I'll leave a link down below. The Ultimate Street Photography Guide, improve your photography and bring your city to life. That's the point of it. And I hope it helps some of you out. That pretty much wraps up this video. There's my thoughts on the Fuji X100V. I'm still a Fuji newbie, so I've still got lots to learn. But yes, I have switched to Fuji for street photography.